The House recently passed the Secure Act 2.0 legislation that might bring several benefits for us saving for retirement. It was an overwhelmingly bipartisan bill, 414 to 5, can't get any bipartisan than that. In this video, I'm going to share the 7 main provisions of the bill which could become law if passed by the Senate, and I'm going to share how it may impact you and your retirement. First, the Secure Act 2.0 would provide 401k matching for student loan payments. What does that mean? Let's say you're still working on paying off your student loans. Maybe you don't want it hanging over your head, or you just think it makes financial sense because your loans have a high interest like 6 or 7% and you're not able to currently contribute to your 401k. This bill, if passed by the Senate, would allow you to still get 401k matching contributions from your employer if you pay your student loans. What a great benefit. The second feature of the Secure Act 2.0 bill is it would allow us to grow our money tax-free. What do I mean by that? If you're a sole proprietor or small business owner right now, you can open and contribute to either a SEP IRA or simple IRA, but those two options are pre-tax. You can only put in pre-tax contributions. With this bill, you'll have the option to put after-tax contributions, which will allow you to grow your retirement money tax-free. Another opportunity for tax-free growth is through the catch-up contribution. So right now, in the current law, you can put in around $6,500 in the current calendar year, in addition to the $20,500 401k limit as catch-up contributions. Now, in this bill, they would require you to put your catch-up contributions in your Roth 401k portion of your retirement account. Right now, you can either choose pre-tax or Roth. This bill would require you to put them in a Roth 401k or catch-up contributions. And you're probably thinking, why are they requiring me to do one over the other? Well, it may actually work for you if you're currently in a lower tax bracket now. Let's say you're in a 24% tax bracket now, and you anticipate your tax bracket when you retire to be higher, let's say 25 or 28%. So it would work better for you if you pay the taxes now while your tax bracket is lower. Third feature of the bill is even more tax-free growth. So right now, if your employer is giving you matching contributions to your 401k, those matching contributions go to the pre-tax portion of your 401k, and then you have to pay taxes when you take it out. This bill would require employers to make employer matching contributions into your Roth 401k account. What does that mean for you? If you're in a higher tax bracket now, let's say you're in the 32% tax bracket now or higher, that might not necessarily be the best for you because you'll be forced to pay the taxes now. But if you're in a lower tax bracket now compared to when you retire, this would actually work in your favor. Let me give an example so it's clearer. So let's say your salary right now is $120,000 per year and you're currently in the 24% tax bracket, and you think that's more or less what I need when I retire. And when you retire, you're probably going to be in the 25 or 28% tax bracket because the current low tax bracket now will expire at the end of 2025. So this provision of the Secure Act 2.0 would work better for you because your employer matching contributions right now will go to a Roth 401k. You pay lower taxes now and grow your money tax-free and not pay taxes down the road when your tax bracket is going to be higher. Fourth provision of the Secure Act 2.0 legislation is it would require employers to automatically enroll workers into their 401k plans starting at 3% of salary, which would then increase annually up to 10% of the employee's salary. You might be wondering, why is the government telling me or telling the business or company what to do in terms of 401k enrollment? Well, the neat thing about this bill is it would give employees the option to opt out. If they don't really want to contribute, they can opt out or change their contribution rate at any point in time. So the nice thing about this bill is it would help address the retirement crisis that the United States is currently in. So think about, what is the median 401k balance right now for a 65-year-old American? It's only $82,000. That's really not enough to last you throughout your retirement. So this provision of the Secure Act 2.0 is trying to address that problem so that more Americans can be better prepared for retirement. Now, businesses with 10 or fewer employees or less than 3 years old would be excluded from the mandate, which I really appreciate as a small business owner that has less than 10 employees. The fifth feature of the Secure Act 2.0 bill is bigger catch-up contributions. So right now, you can put an additional $6,500 in your 401k on top of the $25,500 annual limit in calendar year 2022. This feature of the bill would increase those catch-up contributions to $10,000 for ages 62, 63, and 64 starting in 2024. In addition to that, so right now for IRA, the catch-up contributions for IRA has been pegged at $1,000 since 2006. So in 2022, the maximum IRA contribution that you can make towards a Roth or traditional IRA is $6,000. If you're 50 and over, you can put an additional $1,000. With this bill, they will basically index that catch-up contribution to inflation, which would be nice for those preparing for retirement. The sixth provision of the Secure Act 2.0 bill is the increase in required minimum distribution age. What does that mean? Right now, there is a rule that says if you hit 72, even though you don't want to withdraw from your 401k or pre-tax IRA, you need to take out a certain amount of money. Typically, it's like 3, 4, or 5% depending on your age. That's called the required minimum distribution rule. This bill, if passed by the Senate, would increase the required minimum distribution age from the current 72 to age 73 starting in 2023, to age 74 starting in 2030, to age 75 starting in 2033. What does this mean for you and me? Well, it gives us more time to grow our pre-tax or Roth 401k money and pre-tax IRA money a little bit longer and save us on taxes. Last but not least, the seventh main provision of the Secure Act 2.0 bill is the creation of a national database for Americans to find and reclaim lost 401ks. What does that mean? Every now and then, some companies switch 401k vendors. Maybe the vendor will send you a letter, but you didn't really notice it or you didn't read it. You might have thrown it away. And before you know it, you kind of forgot, how do I access my 401k again? What website and what vendor? And before you know it, you might have forgotten that it even exists. This bill would create a national database so we can just go to their website, input our information, and it would supposedly help us find any lost 401ks out there. Overall, I think those 7 main provisions are going to be a net positive for us saving for retirement. What I wish they added, which is missing from the entire legislation, is a way for us to be able to move or switch our 401k to another 401k or an IRA, just to make it easier for us to do that. Because right now, the paperwork to move old 401ks is just intimidating and daunting. And I guess the financial services lobby is just too strong.